Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
Ladies and gentlemen, y'all caught us talking crap at the beginning of the show, but it's all good. Off of a 2-week, I guess, layoff. There was a holiday. It was just some weird days in between that left us not doing a ZoWhat show for 2 weeks. And people go crazy. I'm getting emails. Is it over? Is the ZoWhat show over? You're never doing it again? No. Of course we're doing it. It was just a holiday. What was the last holiday? Was it President's Day or something?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, we had a President's Day situation. Is that okay?
No, we shouldn't have celebrated that.
Hey, believe me, I was trying to get people in here, engineers, who would on their day off come in and do the show like we did on MLK Day, but nobody was available. Right? It was closed on MLK Day, but somebody was available. So, shit. The show ain't over after 2 weeks of not doing it. Christ. Is it over? No, it's not over. It's going to be cracking. We're consistent with it, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ZoWhat Morning Show. We have returned. It is the day before the last day of Black History Month. And we had to do, more History Month for Kevin. Okay, s'mores. More History Month.
What you looking like right now?
Right? I'm in my smiles, everyone. Smiles. Dr. Mr. Rourke.
Hitch.
Hey, Hitch. Hey. I told everybody to come suited and booted today because this show is about business. We got to take care of some real business in light of what's happening in the world. Now, you already know how I get down. Before we can get into the topic, I got to do something radical this week. I'm just going to rattle off a gang of businesses. Now, what Frank is going to do later, because this is going to happen quickly, but what Frank is going to do later is Frank is going to put every business that I'm rattling off into the description box on YouTube. All right? So every business is going to get its shout out. All right. Woo, BOPG. Because of oneperfectgod.com. BOPG, because of oneperfectgod.com. Now, this sister, her name is Yolanda Yanetta. She is the owner of Big Old Pretty Girls. Listen, Big Old Pretty Girls. Listen, she got dresses for big girls. BOPG, Big Old Pretty Girls. Look at, listen. What's going to happen is Frank is going to put up the website so you can see it. Because of oneperfectgod.com is the website. This is for girls who calling me Hitch. This nigga look like Hitch. Hey. Yeah, the Negro Mr. Rourke. I love it. BOPG. Oh yeah, they go. I told him to wear a suit too, but he didn't do it. Timmy Tight Top come in here flexing again. BOPG, because of One Perfect God. I want you guys to go there. If you have a sister, or if you're a sister that is curvy and full figured, she's got a lot of nice designs. I'm looking at her designs right now. Super fly stuff for women with curves. Go check her out. Because of One Perfect God. These are the guys who did my taxes. New NU Republic West. This brother, Minister Tony Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, has a financial company that does accounting, insurance, lending, credit. They go, my brother, he just showed up. NewRepublicWest.com. If you're in the Los Angeles area and you haven't gotten your taxes done, get over there, man. These dudes are exceedingly professional. Exceedingly. They took care of me ASAP. I was in and out of there in less than an hour, and I got bread back. These guys are good, really good. New Republic West. That is the place to go to. Also, Total Package Energy. Now, this brother, this is a good brother, man. His business partner is doing all the metrics. He's like, man, for all the people that are listening to your show, we should have more sales. I said, hey, man, I can't force people to buy the product. I can only present it. So he sent me an entire list of all the pros in the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball that are using this product. Now, I can only tell you what my personal experience with this product is. It worked. Now, Total Package Energy, it's enriched with vitamins, natural ingredients, and amino acids. Let me say, I know a lot of truck drivers who listen to this show. And if you're doing that late night haul, you know a lot of niggas be getting sleepy. You see what happened to Tracy Morgan. Somebody, I'm going to tell you right now, this worked. There's a lot of truck drivers who listen to the show. I mean, my homeboy Tex, shout out to Tex. My homeboy Tex, man, he's all over the country driving his own 18-wheeler.
That's dope.
And it's a lot of truck drivers who listen to the show. Let me tell you how we got them. We got them from the Foxhole. They followed us over to all the other platforms. A lot of people who got Sirius XM satellite listen, right? They're truck drivers who listen to Sirius XM satellite. And those listeners followed us. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a product, black owned, healthy. What does it got in it? They call it a neural enhancer, stamina enhancer, antioxidant.
Ain't got no meth in it.
Motherfucker. Morpheus
Here
said,
we
don't
go.
take that.
Here we go. This is the good shit right here. Total Package. Y'all should support it. Total Package Energy. It works. Oh, goodness. You see Zoe in here looking like the black Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island. Smiles, everyone. Smiles. Where's my tattoo? There he is. They're playing, boss. I'm in here cold as ice, ready to hit the streets and get somebody to work for me. I'm
Is
in
that a
here.
leather hat?
You understand it, PM? I'm in here doing it. Listen, my cousin, I told y'all the brother is cold. The inside of this jacket is silk paisley. I don't even want to do that. Kenneth Boggs Suits, tailor-made suits, black-owned business, young brother, 28 years old. He lives in Utah, went to school in Utah, wound up staying there. The business is cracking. He makes tailored suits for all types of NBA, professional brothers. The brother's cold work. He's cold business. Kenneth Boggs Suits. Let's make sure we get that up there. Also, Weed Juice is in the building. Y'all got to support Weed Juice. As soon as I say the name, people start grabbing bottles. Jesus. It's wow. Free for all. Okay, cool. All right, Weed Juice. This brother is here faithfully. It's like religion. Jesus. Let me grab mine before it's just all gone. It's like religion. He's here. He has all types of discounts and, supporting, everything that we do here. Sorry, Dr. G, that's mine. Go to weedjuice.com. That's OUIJUIC.com. The code is ZoWhat. You're going to get a discount. Please continue to support that
Pass
brother.
that celery to Dr. G.
This is made.
All right.
I'm incurable.
Wait. Hold on, guys. I'm not done. Power in One Clothing. Power in One Clothing. That's PIOclothing.com. They got some of the flyest, most inspirational t-shirt designs ever. Please continue to support and roll with those brothers. RBG Tees. They too. Great t-shirt designs. I love everything that they do. I support everything that those two companies do. PIOclothing.com, Power in One, and RBG Tees. I hate to promote them together, but they like brother. They're like Cain and Abel companies, right? They brothers. They do the same thing. They respect each other. They got each other's back. I love those guys. Please continue to support both brands. And then, of course, you have Shepherd's Sweets. A lot of people are still really backing this sister and her confections. Sweet potato cakes.
Yummy.
You know, her candy. That candy is nuts.
Ridiculous.
I don't,
Potato cakes are off the chain.
Yeah, but that candy is stupid. So go to her website, shepherdssweets.com. Please continue to support her. Then you got Kevin out here on the brilliant side of the game. I love smart dudes. I think Kevin tried to motivate me today, had some of his people try to back me. Like, I see what you're doing.
That.
Something happened. I was like, what's this about? Okay, Kevin, I see you on the hidden hand side of the game.
I didn't have nothing to do with it, brother.
Kevin has a GoFundMe page, Cop Stop Guardian. Now, this is an amazing product, an amazing concept, right? He's creating an app where, Kevin, I want you to set it up, and then I'm going to back you on this.
So basically, the simplest way to explain it is the app will be like your own personal 911 when you get pulled over. So you click on the app, it immediately, the speakerphone will come on, as well as the video, connects you to an operator, and the operator will mediate the traffic stop or police stop. The operator will be versed in basic traffic stop law, civil rights law, and she will just mediate the traffic stop at the beginning. So just to cool down the tensions between the driver and the officer, so the traffic stop can go easily and everybody goes home safely. As well, they'll be documenting the traffic stop in case the officer tries to abuse their authority, or if the driver gets crazy and tries to go off on the officer. We have documentation for both ways. And as well, once the stop happens, a signal will be sent out called a cop stop flash mob to people within a half-mile radius of the stop to basically just mob the stop and for third-party verification and extra support. So we're doing all that as well. We're basically a nonprofit, though. That's the main thing. We're a nonprofit, and we're really trying to get this out in the country. This is a major thing we're trying to work on. And we need everybody's help to do this. So as far as the donations, please help donate. But if you also have resources, if you can just donate your time, we also need that as well.
Come on, man. What is the website?
CopStopGuardian.com. And the GoFundMe is GoFundMe/CopStopGuardian.
Hey, listen, we got to cash mob it today. All these businesses I'm putting out here, you got to cash mob them today, especially for today's topic. Listen, I'm not done. Ramomar NYC, my homeboy Omar will be in studio in a couple of weeks. Man, he's got a new business model, right? Got a new business model, got a CEO. He's taken his hand out of the play, and now he has inventory control. And I've been working with him, coaching him. Listen, go to Ramomar NYC, high end. It's like museum type level artistry with fine leathers and, bags and backpacks and jackets and tailored clothing. I mean, listen, you want an alternative to Gucci? You want an alternative to Louis Vuitton? That's this guy. He's using the same high level quality material, got the same craftsman out of New York. It might be even more expensive because it's in New York. A lot of his shoes and stuff. I mean, he would make more money and save more money if he sent it over to China to have it manufactured, but he's having it manufactured in New York. This is RamomarNY.com. Please continue to support that brother as well. Here's another one. Benson Watch.
Right.
Benson, BENSON watch.com. This dude he's got some, Doc is like, right, this is Doc's guy.
I knew it.
Right? He hasn't supported what we're doing, but that don't mean nothing. We're going to support whoever reaches out, whatever is in their ability to support what we're doing, whatever. We got their back. BensonWatch.com. High-end watches, timepieces. It's black-owned business, brought to us by Dr. G, one of Dr. G's people.
Have them support us. I'll call out to them.
Tell them to stop playing games. Support the movement. Again, mindblowingmobile.com. This is the sister who did my app.
She's doing our Cop Stop Guardian app.
She's doing the Cop Stop Guardian app. Apps are the new stores on your cell phone. You know, you got a store with you. Your business turns into an actual storefront on your cell phone when you got an app. She's doing it. Apps are incredible. Multiple features, the whole 9 yards. Mindblowingmobile.com. I've got more. It's not over. I got a homeboy from way back in the day who was an artist. I mean, now his stuff is crazy dope. Nubia Apparel. Nubia. Nubia.com. Sun God's cap. Looks like the New York Knicks. Oh, jeez. That eye of Ra looks like the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, he got like bomber jackets and no, not bomber jackets, but what's the term I'm looking for? Letterman's jackets. This Letterman jacket. Look. Oof, that Letterman's jacket right there is just stupid. Is that fly or not? That Letterman's jacket with the eye and the end, that's just stupid. He got another one that's ignorant. Let me just, this one right here. I'm sorry. This is my terminology. Whoa, look, the Valley of the Kings varsity jacket. It's just ignorant. It's just ignorant. I love his stuff. Nubia Apparel. That's Nubia.com. All right. Please support that brother. Then I got another brother, a lot of clothing guys, right? PanAfricanDesigns.com. PanAfricanDesigns.com. I'm going to be wearing some of his stuff. He sent me some hoodies and a t-shirt and a beanie. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to support it. I got more companies. I got one more company to go. I got to get this one out. This is a sister who reached out to me, and I have to support her. And this is the final one for today. If I didn't get to you today, please send me an email to remind me, because I'm trying to get all of these companies well documented and well supported. If I didn't hit you, if I didn't mention you today, please, please, please reach out and let me know. And I promise I'll get you on. What's this sister right here? Boom. Frank's got her picture. This is a beautiful sister out of Dallas. First off, I'm going to give you her IG. I think I want to say her name. Saché Calloway Realtor. That's SACHEA. No, let me spell it right. SACHEC. No, yeah, that's right. SHCHE Calloway Realtor. Saché Calloway Realtor, right? She's on IG, Facebook, Saché Calloway Realtor. Her email is sasha@timjacksonrealty.com. She's based in Fort Worth, Dallas, Fort Worth, right? Listen, she listens to the show. She's supporting a black-owned business, and she's in real estate in the Dallas, Fort Worth area. Please continue to support this sister. 16 years of banking experience and mortgage experience and real estate. Y'all got to support her. All right. Saché Calloway Realtor on IG. If you're in the Dallas Fort Worth area, please support her movement. Listen, I got to take a quick break. I didn't even support myself. But listen, I expect you guys to do it. If not, I'm going to remind you later on in the show. Listen, please continue to support all of these businesses. Cash mob them all. Support them all. When we return, it's really about to go down. Today's topic is going to be out of freaking control. The ZoWhat Morning Show back in the building with another heater. When we come back, Dr. G's Toolbox. Ladies and gentlemen, the ZoWhat Morning Show is back. We have a new injured here today, and she's a little rusty. She doesn't know our get down. Her name is Ashley.
Well, we can put up with it because she's a lot better looking than the other guy.
Yeah. He's like
He looked like something from Lord
I
of the
would
Rings.
much rather look over there and see her
Looking like a
gorgeous
hobbit.
ass fucking up and that horrible looking guy that's good at it.
Yeah.
She can get good. He can't get better looking.
right. He's like Pork
She's fine. I think she's
Reinfeld.
doing fine.
Pork Reinfeld. That's what we're gonna call him. But he's good. Anyway,
He's very good.
as is commonplace, Dr. G's Toolbox will set up today's topic. Dr. G, go ham. Oh, you're Jewish.
Ooh, love this music. Love this music. And we shut it off. But we're going to talk about the matrix of stagnation. What are the social and institutional obstacles that are keeping the black community from getting their share of what they deserve? Are they destined to be poor? Is there any way? Is there any way out of that for them? And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to talk about it from that social and institutional thing. But as I often do, I often bring in some of the interpersonal things. So I'm going to ask my fellow hosts here. I want to ask you a question. Have you ever run into a person, maybe a spouse or an ex-spouse, or a person who felt entitled to more than you felt they deserved, and you always felt that in any given moment you tried to tell them they didn't feel that way, they'd get angry at you? How many of you have had that kind of personality? Wow. Did you ever deal with someone like that?
Hell yeah.
Okay, and so did you have an anticipation that even if they're calm, at any moment they could then become demanding, they could then become over the top? So you've had that relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm proposing, and I don't have an answer, is that's how the white community looks at the black community, especially black males. And so there's an anticipation that you're going to act entitled to something, and even when you don't, and even when you deserve it, it doesn't matter. And as long as they're seeing you that way, and they deny that they're doing it, you have a real challenge. And it's interesting. I'm part of a nonprofit, and the co-founders are African American, and it's working with some governmental agencies. And I told them, I say, I hate to tell you this, but you may need to make me chairman. I mean, they're the co-founders, because I can pick up in the room that when you get passionate, especially if there's more white people in the room than African American, I can just pick up. I understand your passion, but I can just see they're kind of pulling back, and I'm not trying to usurp power, but I just see the dynamic. So the question,
send the white guy in. He'll get what we need.
Yeah.
Well,
that's all that we've been doing that for years.
No, I'll and then I'll pivot, because I think I've earned my credibility on this show, hopefully with you guys.
Of course.
But do you think it's true what I was saying, that as long as whites anticipate that you're going to act at them and act entitled to something which you deserve, you've deserved it for decades. But as long as they view you that way, kind of the way you might look at an ex-spouse, the way they listen to you is the way you listen to that ex-spouse who feels entitled to all the things that you never done for them. So how do you get around that? And is there do you see any parallels?
Dr. G just said, we're the white man's side bitch. That's what he said. Like, this bitch.
Well, is there any validity to what I just said? And then you can take it to a much grander level of institutional and social thing, which I always learn from more than I contribute to.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. G just set it up for us, man. Today's topic, the matrix of stagnation, a deeper look at strategically placed social/institutional obstacles that keep the commoner in place. Whew. My God. We got questions. True or false, the political system tends to serve the needs of the wealthy. Call us 323-230-4445. What is patrimonial? You know what I'm about to say, right? Oh my God. What is patrimonial capitalism? Jesus Christ. Is the redistribution of wealth essential to having a financially sane society? Europe seems to be up on that side of the game a little better than America. Oh man, today's topic. How does government policy and institutional racism influence the case against the redistribution of wealth in America? Oh, shit. Just like Dr. G said, they feeling like this motherfucker's entitled. I don't want to have to redistribute to him because he gonna feel like, you understand? I owe him. He gonna have that I owe him vibe. Are black people's dreams bigger than our available resources? Today's topic, man, is crazy. Why are Black Americans at greater risk of being poor moving forward? Listen, my crew is in the building. We've got Don King as a special guest. Dr. G. We're wearing suits. We're suited and booted because it's business time. Now, we've got Antonio Moore. Educated man.
I just want to say Kevin ain't got no jacket on.
Kevin doesn't have on a jacket.
Just
It's shit.
I do not.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin is
not.
like, fuck the rules.
I don't believe in suits.
Rules are for fun of
This
us.
is what y'all gonna get best out of me.
He's an Aries. He's on his own path. I got him. He said, I'm going to button this top button and that's going to be it. God damn it.
Because nobody
And it's gonna be short sleeve.
And it's a short sleeve. Fuck y'all.
He one of them cats that he like him and Hassan. They where they go, okay. He can't kick my ass. He can't kick my ass. Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Ain't nobody can whoop my ass. I'm gonna do
I just
what
like to be comfortable, man.
Well, hey, man, I ain't
come
mad
in here
at
in my
you.
bathrobe. Shit.
Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Let me just start off with Antonio Moore. Why are Black Americans at greater risk of being poor moving into the future? Speak on it.
Well, we're in a period of wealth consolidation like we've never seen before.
Wow. Yes.
When you look at 2016, there's a New York Times article that shows it took 64 families to equal the wealth of the bottom half of the globe. Literally by 2017, it only took 8. 8 families have as much wealth as the bottom half of the globe. Of those 8, 6 are American. 6. Bezos, Gates, Zuckerberg. What you're seeing right now is that wealth is codifying at the top. But not only is wealth codifying at the top, it's meaning that legacy is codifying. So the legacy of slavery and the legacy of Jim Crow is codifying as well. The 25 years that you experienced where Bill Cosby made you feel good, where Jay-Z came out of nowhere is over. And we're in a new period now. And you see that with people like DeVos, who's the Secretary of Education. Go look her up if you don't know.
Right.
She talking about cutting school lunches. And how many of y'all kids rely on school lunches to eat right now?
They counting that meat.
Wait, school lunches, Obamacare, the repealing of that, welfare. Listen, my guy, Bill Burr, comedian, funny as fuck.
Oh my God.
He's the follow-up
To Carlin.
to Carlin, right? To George Carlin. That motherfucker
No
said,
question.
in terms of wealth in America, in terms of just being successful, you have to put a part of your mind has to compartmentalize suffering. You have to put suffering to the side so you can be successful, because part of being a success means you got to take from other people and you can't really give a fuck that they don't have.
But let me add one more thing that Byron told me. You know, Byron's one of the 3 or 4 black billionaires out there. He said a real family with real wealth is 3 billion hard, 700 million liquid. We don't have a family like that. We own less than 1% of agricultural land in this country. We speak as though we're in a position of power, but we're out of leverage because we use the word black and white. We need to start using the word normal wealth holders and something else.
And something else.
And I think it would make it a lot
The
clearer.
lords and the serfs.
Niggas with, niggas without.
Wow. And when we start talking about haves and have-nots, that's why it's important that we bring these types of informative discussions to light, because niggas are like teenagers. You know how a teenager get in a space where you don't recognize the severity of the situation you're in currently.
No.
I'm gonna move out.
I'm gonna go do this, and I'm gonna have this. And they be like, "Do you not know
How much
what
rent
it
is?
What it requires to do that?
Do you know where you're poor?
Yep.
You're poor in the wealthiest country the world has ever known. Think about that.
Wow.
You ain't just poor in a developing nation.
There are people who would kill their mama to come here and be homeless.
Damn.
There are people, think about that.
I don't know.
Brother.
Homeless here is different.
It's changing.
True though.
We're in the middle of a
Look at
transition.
Syria and all those places.
Okay. Look, yeah. And no, please tell me where thousands of people in America, not yet, it's coming, but thousands of people are being chased by thousands of other people who are dressed just like them but happen to have AK-47s. Where is that?
But that's not every poor place in the world.
No, and I didn't say every poor place. I said, so let me be clear. People who were last night chased by people who look like them with AK-47s would kill their mama to come here and be homeless.
Yeah, and there's also a homeless dude in Skid Row right now that got his blanket snatched.
Oh,
today.
absolutely.
And he
I was just in Skid Row on Saturday. And when I tell you, that's
it looks like another country.
It's Resident Evil down there,
Yes.
dog.
Yeah.
You know what's the trip? But you know what's the trip about Skid Row? We're 2% of LA, but we're 50% of Skid Row.
And when you say we, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about African American males. And understand that what's a trip about it is that we experience this racism and what we're talking about in a codified way. So I might agree with you more generally about all Americans, but for black males today, we can't even hide from poverty.
Okay, bruh, let me be real clear. I am not taking the Republican stance on this. We are agreeing from different ends of this prostitute here. We're shit is horrible. Shit is horrible. But the place that we seem to always come to the fork in the road is that I don't believe that technically we need a damn nickel, a damn inch from white people. Not an inch. What we need to do is take back the shit that's ours already. Like all of the talent in the NBA. All of the talent in the NFL.
You know why? You know why that ain't gonna happen?
No, it's not going to happen. Of course not, because niggas worship money. People like to say, "Well, we worship God." No, we don't. We worship money.
But they worship money and the definition of success in this system.
Can I retort? Now this is my only retort. I think we tend to look at wealth and also this codified nature as though it's just people. This is government codified action. So when we say that we need white people to do things, we're really also saying government.
Yes.
Stop giving Uber an advantage. Let me start an Uber and don't shut me down. We're saying redlining stole money from us and gave it to other white people. You know that people could go in your house during the 50s and just take your money and then just leave and you couldn't bring no crime? For almost 80 years, there was only one white man convicted of the murder of a black man. All those lynchings up until like 1970. My point is that they codified the advantage that white people had through government. And we live in the wealthiest country, not just now, ever.
I am not disagreeing with any of that. What I am saying is that black people are going to have to lose their romance with money.
Okay. Listen, you know how difficult it is. Let me just say, Jeff, you're making it's such a powerful point. They got to lose their romance with money. That is a powerful. But watch this. It's hard when niggas are in tears like they just lost a baby when they win a gold statue.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Look at how the system is set up here. I'm going to use a music analogy. Michael Jackson drops Off the Wall in 79.
Right.
Do you know Michael Jackson did not win Album of the Year, even though that was the biggest album that year?
Yeah.
He didn't win Album of the Year. They didn't even have
arguably the best R&B album ever made.
Right. He wasn't even in the category. They put him in some best R&B album. Watch this. At the end of the day, we get all bent out of, or we feel like we've accomplished something when we get acknowledged for the ancillary participation in society. Like, oh, this side nigga here who just did a genre bending album, which was transcendent.
Right.
This album saved CBS Records and everybody's job over there.
Yeah.
Had revolutionary producer Quincy Jones, who isn't an R&B producer, by the way. Didn't want him. This created some mind-bending shit. And no, we're not going to acknowledge that. Be happy that you're here.
Well,
it's that mentality that will keep people, and I'm talking about brothers, from unifying today and going, you know what? Because people have been bringing this to my attention. We're going to do this show. Why are all these kids so amped to get that college scholarship from these big white schools instead of saying, as brothers, let's not accept those scholarships and let's go to Morehouse. Can you imagine Carmelo Anthony at Morehouse playing basketball?
Bro.
Can you imagine Kevin Garnett?
Right.
Can you imagine Allen Iverson instead of Georgetown. The only reason why we go to those places is because they got the money and the resources and the cachet. Just the name cachet alone is, you see,
The
speak
exposure.
on it.
Money is just a measure of intelligent decision in a given line over a given period of time. If you do shit that makes sense for long enough, you'll fall backwards over into some money. Okay? So I don't count money. Money is an agreement. It's an agreement. It's when I pull out $1, we are all in agreement that is too much to pay for one pen, but not enough to buy a car. It's an agreement. Okay? Once you
I like that.
break the way, like the word nigga, is an agreement. We made this agreement for this little blip in time that the word nigga is horrible. Well, guess what? A group of people are coming along, a generation has come along and broken that agreement.
That's right.
Okay? What has to be broken is the concept that when I graduate high school, I got to go to a big league school so I can get into the NBA. What if you went to Morehouse and played football, and after you got out, there was a league waiting on you that wouldn't pay you as much as the other league, but guess what? The team with the best celebrations at the end of the season gets an extra win. And there's a DJ, okay? When you play New York, there's Kid Capri on one side and Jazzy Jeff on the other, and they scratch their shit at every touchdown. What if we said, fuck you, we gonna take our ball and go in the house? What do you do when when a people collectively says the next time we are disrespected, we are going to make a point to watch what you're doing?
You know what's crazy? The nigga is so afraid of these words. Now, if you leave, you know you can't come back.
Right. Woo!
Antonio, then Kev, and then Dr. G.
I'm just backing up on the picture to Dr. G's message and answering that by saying we as blacks tend to evaluate wealth on a singular lifetime basis. We're competing with people who look at it multi-generationally.
Sir, I am not going to allow you to keep talking without repeating that.
And so,
leave him alone.
Well, we as blacks, we tend to look at wealth as a singular life event when actually it's multi-generational.
Yes.
And what's happening right now through this wealth codification that I described earlier is that whether you understand it or not, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it over the next 5 years.
Come on, bro.
And I think that what's going to happen is a lot of blacks will be reawakened and reintroduced to both class and race. And I think that also what you see is that our race, gender-wise, will be slammed together because a lot of the pain was codified inside of the males through incarceration and unemployment.
Whoa.
And so, it's funny how many young women in the 2000s were getting their masters and complaining about young men being at home.
What's about to happen?
They at home now too, with their mama, with their sister, with their auntie.
Right.
And I think we're gonna have to be more
also with their degree.
And driving Uber. But and I'm not saying that in a way to be critical in the same way that I saw young women being critical of black men during the 2000s.
Absolutely.
But I'm saying that we're going to have to deal with the systemic reality that I come back to, which is racism in America is not an individual experience. It's a multi-generational, government-based experience that individuals benefit from. Individuals from different ethnicities of white European background.
Absolutely.
Wow. Kevin, and then Dr. G.
So, I'm about solving the problem. So, racism only works because you are separate.
Well, solve it
And
then,
so
nigga.
There's I'm about to tell you. So, unless you learn the secrets of what they're doing, you'll never get out of this shit. So, there's a show called Billions. I don't know if you guys watched it.
Paul Giamatti.
So, right. So, the first episode of the new season, Billions, the billionaire, he had a little revelation of, he was like, I'm powerful by myself, but you always need allies. You always need allies. You always need someone to back you, and you're much more powerful. No matter how powerful you are by yourself, you're always more powerful with backing. So this is the things they understand. No matter how many differences they have, no matter what's going on, they will always team up for the common goal. And so black people, or so-called black people, don't understand that. So like they have things, again, I've been talking about this for a while. Organizations, foundations, corporations, trust. These are the things that they create to put their wealth in and to move about. These are vehicles that they move throughout society with. And unless you understand that, you're not going to do anything. I mean, corporations just the first thing. That's the simplest part of it. But then you get into the deeper game of foundations and trust, like the one I have. It's a 501c4. Most people understand, well, we've seen 501c3s. What's a 501c4? 501c4s actually have political power. A 501c3 can't back a politician. They can't lobby. They can't do any of that. But an example of a 501c4 is the NRA. So and that's how they have their power. They can put money behind a politician. They can lobby. They can do all that shit because they are that. And so unless you understand the vehicles they created to be powerful and to be successful and do that, you won't ever be.
Okay.
Can I say one? Can I add in on that? I just wanted to say what's also happening attaching to Kev is everybody look up Citizens United, the big case that came down.
CPACs, yep, they're C501.
Devos is the Secretary of Education.
Wow.
And she pretty much almost bought the seat, and she'll tell you.
She did. Yep.
They used to have to do it by something called soft money, which means they had to kind of hide how they gave it. After Citizens United, we just give it out as we want to.
Yep.
And what that's doing is that it's allowing for the wealth class, the billionaire class that Trump
to purchase the political system.
Yeah, and it's and produce basically an oligarchy.
What super PACs? That's how
I guess my only point is just to say it also cuts us out. I think we have an idea and a vision of wealth and a wealth class that we don't have in this country. Top 1%, to get in the top 1% of black families, I'll say it again, all you got to have is $1.2 million. That's the top 200,000 or so black families. There might be like 50,000 black families with $1 million liquid out of 14 million homes. And they mostly just are at the $1 million barrier and they're middle managers for white people's money. We don't have a ruling class here. And we've created an identity as though this is one, a developing nation. And two, we have a class of people that owns orange groves, oil mines, different things of the sort. And it's just not true.
We don't.
Kev,
Doc.
No. Jeff, because you go ahead, Jeff, and then Doc. Jesus, you're just
saying
so antsy.
Saying that all of the examples that you made are real and true, and they are of real things like land and orange groves, and like you said, but they are no more or less real than Apple or Amazon. What we own, what we have a headlock on is what you want to do when you take your shoes off. We got a headlock on music. We got a headlock on entertainment. We got a headlock on sports. What we don't have is the guts to stand up at one time and go, fuck you, we finna do this ourselves. That's what we don't have. Okay, the shit you were talking about. What this is what it feels like what you're telling me. This feels like the scene in Apollo 13 where all of the engineers are shitting their pants and they're discussing how the astronauts their blood may boil and how they may go around on the other side of the sun and skip off and freeze to death. And then Ed Harris, the lead engineer, comes in with a box and slams it on the table and said, this is everything inside of the shuttle. We have the smartest minds on the earth around this table. I don't want to hear another damn word about how it can't work. You tell me how it can work. We got 500 instances of what we don't have and what we can't do. Here is what we can do. Here is what we can do. The very next time that we are insulted by a company, by a corporation, by a television show, by an individual, we can look at everything that is financially touching that person and tell the 25 million black people here, do not fuck with that, or that for the next 6 generations.
I ain't gonna do that.
Thank you. And until that mind changes, that mind is far more important than anything you mentioned that we don't have.
I like Chick-fil-A, nigga.
There you go.
10 seconds and then Dr. G.
Very, very short critique. I mentioned Devos earlier. She's married to the guy from Amway. The guy from Amway, his father owns Amway, started it. They own the Magic. Okay. Orlando Magic.
Wow. Okay.
So my point is that if you looked at all the teams, you're like the players don't own the league. The teams are owned by the people that I'm talking about.
Can any of the owners play?
Let me just finish my 10 seconds. All I'm saying to you is that I think that the surface level idea that we own entertainment doesn't take into context the distribution points and the reality that this is the same money using entertainment. Let me finish my point. Using entertainment to control the same system. What it comes down to is, do you own resources? And if you believe that we own resources here, and that's just a place where we conflict.
Okay. Here's the biggest part of what you just and I would be firmly in your corner if this were 1978. Okay, just me. I had a studio in my house, cost me $6,000 to put together. 20 years ago, $200,000 or more to do the same thing. I can make a song. I can write a song, make a song, and put it up with nobody's interference. Can
you eat a song?
Can I what?
Eat a song?
Can I eat a song? After I put it up, I absolutely can. I absolutely can.
That's what we're disagreeing.
Okay.
Well, and that's fine. Dr. G has been waiting patiently
to jump in on this tomfoolery.
Yes, during the scrum of this all.
Okay, so it seems like you're trying to counter an action with words. Actions don't respond to words, they respond to counteractions. The key is to make sure the counteraction is not overkill or underkill, because then it'll be ineffective. And so what's happening is you're talking about all the actions and bad actions and misactions that have been taken that have put you in this position, but if you come back at it with words, I'll tell you what's going to happen. When you just come at something with words, the person you're yelling at feels that merely acknowledging what you say is sufficient. They don't have to give you a solution because they feel just hearing you out is
solution enough. Right.
Is solution enough. So the point is I think, and what I like about the conversation is we keep trying to get back to a solution that's hopefully doable, but it's got to be something that is airproof. But what I hear here, and I can understand, this is a radio show, we can mention solutions, but what we're talking about is our voices against the actions out in the world. So what could be a concerted actions or responses to those actions that everyone can get behind? I like what Jeff's saying, but he said that, forever. But
solution's already happening. It's just not the solution that African Americans want to see.
What is the solution that's happening that African Americans don't want to see? And then after that, we're going to go to break real quick.
And what would be the solution they want to see and they're willing to see?
No, I want to see.
We're going through Reconstruction era too. We're going through a rollback of all of the opportunity that you saw over the last 25 years. It's not just for African Americans. It's for all poor Americans. But African Americans are a flat group, so it's almost the whole group. Meaning professionals that are white collar doctors will not be the same as some person who has capital. As capital codifies, whether we want to hear it or not, what it will do is lock out those people who don't have capital and inheritance. And I think fundamentally, we don't want to see that as the system creating a solution for itself. Now, what would black people have as a solution? I think Jeff's answer was probably the best answer before, which is let go of many of the things that money makes you strive. Stop being a striver and start. Look at 50 Cent. This is a guy who made millions of dollars and has a horrible relationship with his children.
Thank you.
Start having good relationships with your children. Have goals that are grounded.
Or in all fairness to 50, a horrible relationship with one of his children.
Okay, you're right.
Because we don't really know
about the other.
I see him on Instagram being a great father to this young child that's his. So I don't really know, the details of that man's situation and why whatever, him and his relationship with the other kid is the way it is, because sometimes that's just the way it is.
Yeah. How about your mama?
We don't know what the deal is on that. Just in fairness to 50.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But my point is just to say, we're driven by Maseratis and big houses because it makes us fill our ego up. But we need to reevaluate the way that capital manipulates our very limited goals.
Wait a minute. This is 60 more seconds. Say more about that
one. Yeah.
So what capital has realized is kind of like the Matrix. I mean, it's trippy. I don't like using commercial movies. It's realized a way to entice us through having us consume goods. And that fulfills your ego. but like the core things that you actually need, water and bread, they give you cheaper and cheaper versions of that. So like, take for instance, I'm gonna use a simple version. I said this the other day, you know, everybody was like, Rosa Parks, the little guy from Little Caesar, paid for her apartment for the last 10 years of her life. How about you
Papa
stop
John.
selling?
No, the owner.
The
no,
owner
Little
of
Caesar.
The owner of Little Caesar.
No, it's Little Caesar.
How about you
Little
stop
Caesar.
selling cheap pizza in the hood,
Right.
And just keep your money, your conscious, clean and soul money that you was giving Rosa Parks. And I feel like we don't understand quality goods, quality life,
Right.
and that's kind of the game that capital has played.
Rosa Parks' apartment didn't cost hundreds of millions of dollars.
Wow.
Which is what you made off of this cheap ass pizza. So
Shit.
yeah, I feel you.
It's like that because the classes system has been the same way it's been forever. So, you know, the people at the bottom don't understand what the elite few at the tops understand.
If
Which is
you-
why
Or they don't understand what wealth is.
No,
right, but
not
it's,
at all.
it's that information. That's why they're called
And-
idiots,
and-
or
and-
the common people, the common person with no knowledge. That's what an idiot is. And so
Wow.
that's what the elites,
A
they
commoner.
call the lower common classes idiots.
The Vogus.
And that's what's so trippy about Byron Allen's lawsuit with Charter and Comcast. That's the highest that it was like reaching the glass ceiling and realizing, no, you're not going to own this. You can be on here and
Yeah.
dance around, but you're not going to own this. And we will not meet with you. I have golf with him over there.
Wow.
right.
Wow. Listen, really quickly, let's get a female voice in here. Veronica Conway has just joined the fray. VC,
Hello.
you know it's a lot of testosterone in here. We get a little ramped up, little fired up. Please help us understand, why are black people destined to be broke, especially if the system is not attacked and broken, right? If we don't break the system, how are black people, if it's continually going the way that it's going to go, how are black people destined to be broke? Speak on it.
Well, I think, you know, one of the things that I would love to inject into this conversation is personal financial behaviors, right? So I have been behind the scenes on every possible kind of financial initiative that you can think of. So I've coached, poor folks in the toughest cities in America around their financial literacy and autonomy. I've coached NBA players around them having to make decisions among the newly wealthy. I've been behind the scenes with white boys that make, $100,000, $200,000 a month. Behind the scenes with, I've interviewed black folks, Randall Pinkett, who talks about consolidation. And I would say that before we can come together in any form of consolidation, and there is, Antonio Moore makes a great point, there is a huge consolidation of capital happening right now. But we as individuals have to start with some degree of financial literacy, some degree of financial willingness, some degree of looking out at the terrain of entrepreneurship. To me, financial stuff, it's a mindset, it's a skill set. And until we master that mindset and skill set, we can't come together and transact any business with each other, right? So we've got to start individually so that we can leverage collectively. But we have to start individually first.
Oh my God. Do you know how powerful this shit is right now? We would rather have a shoe collection. Somebody just posted this on Twitter. I got to give it to my homeboy. I'ma say this. That's what we call him. His name is Maurice, but we call him I'ma say this because every time he call in, he be like, and I'ma say this. And I'ma say this before he makes his point. And I'ma say this. So we named him I'ma say this. He said niggas would rather have a shoe collection, 12 pair of Jordans, over 30, 50-pound bags of beans. No, just peep game on. Just peep game. I keep telling people all day in America, when Bill Gates steps out and goes, yo, we're not prepared for the next pandemic. Niggas ain't even paying attention. What is niggas using big words again? There is an opportunity for a pandemic to happen. Let me tell you what's going on at my kid's school right now. She's at Santa Monica High. 3 kids have died this year at Santa Monica High. From some neuro shit. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow.
Some kind of something that gets the kids sick. To the point where a neurovirus is what they called it. To the point where there was my kid had a basketball game and the game was scheduled to be at Santa Monica High, and the other school was like, we not coming.
Yeah.
Y'all got to have that game here. We not going over there.
We don't want them cooties.
And then this is a junior varsity game. While these motherfuckers is playing basketball, the cheerleaders on the other side is going, neurovirus.
Oh, damn.
You motherfuckers sick. You see what I'm saying?
That's some shit I would have as the cheerleading coach.
So I make that point.
Virus.
I make that point to say this. Santa Monica High in the Santa Monica Malibu School District isn't really worried about it because they have contingency plans in place.
That's it.
Where's your contingency plan for some bullshit to happen
Okay,
in your
it's going
neighborhood?
down, Ryder. Get to the panic room. Chance, come on, get inside.
Right. You think it's okay for the school to have a contingency plan, but not your home, not your neighborhood. Where is the contingency plan for when shit goes bad? And don't act brand new. These motherfuckers, when I say these, because I'm going to tell you right now, if you got motherfuckers who are on the edge, I'm talking about the conservative Republican, the white wing, the right wing, when you got them on the edge of basically saying these motherfuckers is useless eaters, irrespective of race. Irrespective of race.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't really fuck with niggas,
Yes.
but the rest of them too.
Yeah.
Irrespective of race. These are useless eaters.
Right.
That's basically what they're saying when they say, fuck Obamacare.
Right.
Fuck school lunches. Yeah. And fuck welfare and fuck all that. Sink or swim, motherfuckers.
And don't do it too loud.
And be quiet about it. And cheer for your team while you're dying.
That's right.
Okay, we got to take a quick break. We'll be back at 2.2. The ZoWhat Morning Show is cracking when we come back. Jeff Brown's intellectual rant. Oh, cut me off. Okay, cool. Thank you. We'll be back. Yo. Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. ZoWhat Morning Show back in the building. Today's topic, man. The Matrix of Stagnation. Ugh. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. How does your bootstrap combat government action? Institutions that are there to set shit up. It's a crazy topic today, man. We need y'all to participate. It's going down in the town. Jeff Brown is known for his rants. It's time for the intellectual rant. And then right after the rant, we're going to debut a new truth record that Broadway and myself have been working on.
Okay.
It's fire.
Well,
Anybody that's fans of the Homeboy Truth, you're going to get a taste of
bad
it
dude.
right after Jeff Brown. Go in, Jeff.
Okay. Wow, I love this this convo. We all try to fix it. We try to fix it, and I say that it's a little too late to fix it. I think what we should have been doing, we should have been having this conversation back when Puffy was yelling, "Take that."
Take that. Take that.
That's when we had time.
Take that.
That's why there was such an inundation for black people. Shiny shit. Over here, shiny shit. We're putting this shit in place to fuck you. Don't look at that. Shiny shit. Get you a Bentley. Shiny shit. Don't. How do you come from an impoverished ghetto? How do you go to an impoverished grammar school? How do you go off to college, get an MBA contract, and do not come back and build a computer lab? How do you do that? That's the answer. This concept what we're discussing today is how much more the oppressor is taking, how much more he's doing, what he's doing with it. The concept of asking him for anything is futile. He is putting this shit together. And something that my man said a little earlier, Antonio, is he alluded to, is that racism is a function of wealth. It is not. People think racism is yelling nigga from a moving car. No, that's bigotry. Racism is Flint water. Racism is redlining. Racism is raping where you come from and giving nothing back. And what we want, what most people want, not just black people, we just tired. When you see black people who, as I've said before, when you black people are so tired that they look at success as a place to rest. They look at okay, success is this bed. I get to relax when I get there. But when you get to the front door of the house of that bed, the man at the front door goes, sure, you can stay in here as long as you mind your manners and let me rape you. And you go, you know what? I'll take a raping just to take a break. And that's how we get to where we are. People want the latitude to coast through life thinking the government is looking out. It isn't. It isn't. Okay? That's why you have a health food store. If you have a health food store, what the fuck does that make the other stores? Wow. Okay. What we are missing is that this is basically the wolf and the three little pigs story. All of us, commoners, all of us.
Say it again.
Brothers, we got our houses made out of straw. What was the second house?
The first house was stick. Second house was straw.
Okay, we got stick houses.
No. First house straw. Second house stick. Last house bricks.
Okay. Well,
Three little pigs.
Three little pigs. Niggas, three little pigs. Come on, everybody heard that.
I'm just saying he know where the houses was at.
The
address.
I just watched that shit the other night.
Right? Okay. Well, what we don't understand is that the power elite are the people in the brick house and the wolf. And they're the wolf. They ain't letting you in the house, and they finna eat your ass up. Wow. How did we get there? We got there because we were fooled into believing that our little bit is enough. I will say this, or our little bit is a lot. I will say this and I'm finished. With regard to voting, with regard to wealth, my wife hit me to this. Here's what Asian people do, who, by the way, are the lowest in voter turnout. All the time. Asians ain't showing up to vote. Here's what they're doing.
Because they don't give a fuck.
No, because they'll show up. Hi, I'm going to show up. I'm Asian number one. I'm going to show up to take this real estate exam, and I'm going to fail it 15, 16,
So we get all the
17
information.
times. But I'm only here to memorize questions 1 through 10. My cousin is memorizing 11 through 20, and we're going to do this all the way up to this 200 question test, and we're going to just keep failing it till everybody got their questions, and now we have a master list of what is on this test. We're going to give it to everybody, and now we all got real estate licenses. Tell me who voted, who boycotted, who picketed, who complained, who was crying. Nobody. They turned into themselves and did what the fuck they gonna do. And as long as you're expecting your master to help you out, you gonna be one of them niggas in the water in the movie Titanic.
God damn, Jeff. The Matrix of Stagnation. Go in.
I want to touch on, you're right, they're the wolf and they have the brick house, but they've left instructions on how to build your own brick house.
Yes.
And the problem is brothers just don't want to pick up no bricks.
Because we out there partying in the middle of the street.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I see what you're saying, but let's do this. Let's factor in the institutional shit when it comes to education. Because for many years, you had them standardized tests. Shit was rigged going to school. The shit was sort of low-key rigged.
It was, but that was back in the information.
Let's
Everything
just
you want to
remember
know is out there for you to know.
Listen,
today.
when the Asians start killing those standardized tests, that's when the white people start complaining. We need to change this shit because them Asians was like, ain't no stereotype threats in this shit for us. So we go, and they statistically outscored white people.
Yeah.
They said, okay, we got to change this shit.
But the information is still there for you to get and to build your. It's just that brothers have to work harder.
I agree. I agree that you got to work hard to get it. But first, we have to acknowledge that there is an intellectual barrier there, And if you don't know that you're being, listen, it's almost like asking the student to be like, this is some subpar education you giving me. If he don't know that it's subpar, if he don't know that it's rigged,
he don't know because his mama don't know.
Listen, if his mama don't know, if his daddy don't know, if the kid come home and knows a higher level of math than his mama,
then you ain't paying attention because if you don't know it's rigged.
I'm just saying we have to understand that.
Ronnie comes. Hold on.
No,
before Ronnie comes.
We're gonna go to Ronnie.
Just chiming in. I think they're at a point now where they give us the instructions, but they want all the bricks. And so, I think that what we've confused is there's a great article. Everybody go out and Google this. There's a site called Very Smart Brothers. The title of it is "Black People Would Be Wealthy If We Stopped Buying Jordans and Weave." Has always been and will always be bullshit. And so I interviewed the economist that actually did the study. His name is Sandy Darity. Go to Tone Talks and you can actually see us talk for an hour about this. But we're basically consuming Republican arguments and spitting them back out. So welfare queen arguments that empower us. Let me give you an example. If I got cancer, I can feel empowered that if I take 10 multivitamins today, I'll be cured tomorrow. But the reality is that I have cancer and I need to do a lot of reality checking about how long my life might last if I have stage 4.
Right.
I need to go do the chemo. I can take as many multivitamins as I like. Mm-hmm. And so we like to reduce race down to a problem that we can understand. And in doing that, what we do is recreate race as something other than what it is. It's 400 years of being subjugated to slavery and to Jim Crow and to redlining and to being shut out up until today. And the last thing I'll say is that I understand everybody can disagree and think that there's a lot of bricks out there. Well, all I'm going to say to you is wealth is codifying where it went from 64 families being worth the bottom half of the globe. In 1 year, it went to 8, and we live next to 6 of them. So you go shop next to Bezos' wife and feel like y'all the same, but y'all not.
Right.
Okay.
And then you look at it like this, and I'm coming to you, Jeff.
Yeah.
From 77 to 2007, right? That's 3 decades, right?
Yeah.
77, 2007.
Yeah.
30 years, right?
Mm-hmm. 87, 97, 07.
You got 60% of the entire amount of American wealth, right, being given to the 1% of Americans.
Totally changed.
Over those 3 decades.
Wealth is out. What people don't understand is that what used to happen is that the rate of return on wealth wasn't outpacing the economy. Now, we only return 1% on the economy, but wealth as itself returns 5 or 6%.
Right.
That means that the whole game is not labor anymore.
But dude, y'all letting people off, man.
Wait, hold on.
I hadn't finished my point.
Wait.
I'm just telling you what the study showed.
I'm going to come to you. I see what you're saying. The personal wealth, generational wealth.
Labor is not a game anymore.
It grows 4 to 5% annually.
Yeah.
The economy grows 2 to 3% annually.
Less than that.
Which means your personal wealth, which black people don't have a lot of, is outpacing the government's economy, which means a consolidation of wealth as we move on in time. Smaller amount of motherfuckers is getting more and more wealth and not having to work for it.
Nope.
It's a consolidation of corporations, which is the vehicles what I was talking about. Right. That information is out there for you to understand. You guys are letting people off talking about this has been that, this has been that, dude. You can go out there today and find out how to set up a 501c4. All you got to do is Google it and you can find out how to set that shit up in 2 seconds. That shit is bullshit that they don't have the information. Go out and figure that fucking shit out. Man, I'm tired of this bullshit.
It's the consolidation of time.
You're always letting people off about we don't have this.
No, the government.
Dude, that information is there for you to understand, dude. I do this shit all the time. I teach these classes fucking Wednesdays and Thursdays, and we do this shit all the time. That information is there for you to have.
But is the wealth? Are you saying the wealth is there?
No, I'm talking. The wealth is there for us. All we got to do is come together. We have to. Yes, we have it. If we come together. If we come together. And consolidate our resources.
All I'm saying to you is 90% of black businesses are one person.
But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about coming together and then incorporating and organizing.
What I'm saying to you is that's not what we're looking at.
Okay.
All I'm saying to you is all I'm saying to you is me myself. I don't just go off of what I'm saying. I try to talk to. Let me go talk to a billionaire. Okay. Let me go talk to the leading intergenerational economists in the world, and you guys can go Google that. And what I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to you is that this idea that you empower yourself by beating your chest. Your little chest is really nice. But right now, what we're going through is a time where we need to reevaluate how we value ourselves.
My God.
Yo, Jeff Brown and then Kevin.
I don't even know where to start. Okay, first,
just be quick about it.
Your cancer analogy is bad because chemo only has a 2% success rate. Leaving meat.
That's my answer. That's my problem.
Leaving meat, dairy, and bread and sugar
information
alone. Yes, taking sarsaparilla
will cure cancer.
Taking
that will cure it.
Yes,
will cure
absolutely.
Cancer.
Yes,
okay.
Information will kill cancer.
So thank you.
You need that, Jeff.
Second,
I've seen it.
Yeah,
just hold on. We all can't talk at the same time. Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm gonna try one more time. Then I'm gonna start playing this word game over here.
It's your turn. Let's go.
Second, when you say I'm going to talk to other people, it's not just me. Well, if you talk to the right other people 700 years ago, you'd have thought the earth was flat. And all of the millionaires would have told you that the earth is flat. So it's not about who you talk to. It's about what you say. All I am here, again, I am back at Apollo 13 with you, bruh. All I am hearing, almost done, all I am hearing is how it can't work and how it isn't.
No, you know what it is.
And what it is. Okay, so yes, thank you for telling me what it is. You don't need to give me another syllable on how horrible shit is.
No, it's not horrible. See, that's what I mean. You define reality as horrible.
Wrong word. I apologize.
Let us finish.
You keep telling me about the inequity of wealth and how long it's been and what it is. What I am asking you is, what do you think as a people
can be
our
done
solution in the next 20 years?
And what I'm saying to you is, every time I give you that solution, it's not enough. You know why? Because you come back to an ideology that takes Puffy and presents him as something other than what he was. Let me explain. He was not this pivot point where we could have got a different answer. He was part of the problem. He was the creation of the Telecom Act. He was the codification of the start of the codification of wealth.
I apologize if you got I apologize if you got the impression that I thought Puffy was anything other than
not
what
just
you're
individually.
saying.
What I'm saying is that there was never this moment that black people have created in their head where we could have pivoted to a different point. The system was always trying to correct itself.
Okay. If that's the case, then what you are telling me is that the projects came with broken windows and piss in the elevators. You are telling me.
I see what you're saying.
Yes. What you are telling me is that the black mindset being changed is hopeless. So what I want to know,
that's not what I'm saying.
That's
not what I'm saying. You said what I said.
Okay, but because I'll tell you why I said
that.
Just trying to understand you.
Okay. There we go. I'll tell you why I said that. Because I asked you a direct question and you gave me the reason why you won't give me the answer. You didn't give me the answer.
Because your answer requires a new game board.
I ask again. I have heard everything that is wrong. Please tell me, in your opinion, if at all there is anything we can do in the next 20 years to change things go.
And what I'm saying to you is, you already said it. You're just a little scattered.
Oh my God.
See what I'm saying?
No. Let me just hear it. Just hear it.
Just hear it. You present multiple things every show as well. And then you present the answer, but you don't digest the answer. What I'm saying to you is that the answer is not going to be us rising up to challenge white wealth. It's us reevaluating how we place in context of a changing world. And I think that when you really start looking at it, it's really hard to digest that if you start from entertainment analogies. If you start from football and basketball and rappers, all that has to go to the wayside.
This sounds like a conversation with my ex-wife. All you're telling me is what my problem is, and I ask you again for the last time. I will never ask you this problem.
I disagree.
I will never ask you.
I think you're circular.
I will never ask you this question again.
I'm not hearing the answer either, bro.
I'm trying.
But let me say this.
Y'all in the same place.
How much we time? We got 40 minutes.
Y'all in the same place.
I'm gonna finish this game. I'm gonna try one more time.
Y'all in the same place.
Let me say this.
Chest beating.
Wait, let me say this. Let me say this. I think I heard a piece of what he said as far as it goes being a solution.
Yeah, changing the chessboard.
He said,
of course
throw out the chessboard.
Of course you heard a piece.
He said, no, because let me
this man's words.
But let me. I'm just saying that's what I heard. I just heard throwing out the whole game board because you're trying to play a game that's already stacked against you. Just the way the rules are written. I see what he's saying. But now, back to Jeff's point, Now, if we're going to throw out the board, we're going to need organization, collaboration, and collaboration in order to do that. We're going to have to be on the same page to say, yo, do we sit down and say, let's get rid of this board? Or do we say, let's figure this shit out? Because that's what Kevin is saying.
Master this shit.
Let's figure this shit out and let's master this game and then be the best in this game.
Thank you.
And
that's what Jeff. That's what. That's what.
What have you done with my green-eyed ghetto-ass friend?
What are you talking about?
Okay, okay. This is the last time. I'm gonna try it. Real simple. Generally, when I deal, and this is, and I'm not. I'm trying to be as tactful as possible.
Just say it.
I expect to. When you ask a woman a question, you're going to get an answer. It's just not going to be the first thing. It's going to be some other shit here and some other shit here, and you got to dig through and get your answer out. When I ask a man a specific question, I like a specific answer.
It's not specific.
Okay.
And I'm saying to you, if you ask your child,
talk to me like I'm 5.
Okay, I will.
We have this mountain of problems that you have presented.
We got one problem.
Okay.
I'm going to reduce it down.
We have one problem that you have presented. I would like, without telling me what my problem is, which is how side chicks get ahead. Side chicks get ahead because they never ask you what your problem is. Okay? You know what your problem is? I ain't never heard that from a side chick. I am asking you directly. Here is the problem. The problem that you presented. What is the solution? Go.
And what I'm saying to you is that I'll answer to you like a child.
Please.
Because a child doesn't understand rent costs.
Okay.
And what I'm saying to you is that we own less than 1% of land in this. Hold on. We own less than 1% of land in this country. And what you're saying back to me is we don't need the people who own 99%.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I don't want to talk no more to nobody that doesn't understand that point. Okay. We don't own enough land here to
consolidate and go fucking get it.
Consolidate 1%.
Okay, so this is what I'm about to do.
How many languages do you need to
I
hear?
agree. Okay, calm down. All right, this is what I'm about to do. Goddammit, we about to take a break because we can't have a conversation like this. If we're going to try to understand each other, we got to be better listeners than talkers. I mean, I literally want to know what the fuck Jeff wants to say. But I also want to know what you got to say. I also want to know what everybody got to say. But we can't say it all at the same goddamn time. Time for a break. We'll be back at 2.2. This is a heated conversation on the ZoWhat Morning Show. We'll be back at 2.2. Let me see if I can get this shit together. Shit, I wish y'all could have heard the break. There's more information in the break than during the show. Okay, so we're gonna take a deep breath. We're gonna bring it back. 2 people need to get their shot on this. And then I'm gonna come back to Antonio Moore. And he's gonna give Jeff his answers, his solutions. First, we're gonna go to Veronica Conway. And then we're gonna go to Dr. G. If you're just tuning in, the Matrix of Stagnation, a deeper look at the strategically placed social institutional obstacles that keep the commoner down. This is a passionate, heated show, but a much needed conversation, and it has to go down. So, with that said, Veronica Conway, are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that what's true here is that this is a yes and not a no but. In other words, Antonio was talking about the context of economic oppression, which we have to deal with, right? We have to acknowledge what has happened to us if we are, in fact, going to make decisions in the context of our environment. So making money is a choice. It's a skill set. It is a set of actions. It's a mindset. But you have to make that in the context of your environment. So I don't actually think that it's too far apart. They both go together. These are not mutually exclusive concepts. We have to choose our solutions in light of our condition. Period.
Multidimensional answers for multidimensional questions. Dr. G.
How many of you have ever heard of something called the lean business model? Okay, I'll tell you what it is because it's out there. Toyota originator. What it is they came up with something in which you don't want to waste time, waste money, waste products, to make mistakes. So they made mistake-free kind of production. And what the lean business model, the core of it, is you come up with what they call the minimal viable product, and you get it out there, and you crowdsource how it needs to change, as opposed to digging your heels in so deep with something that's not going to go anywhere. So I'd never thought about it, but you could apply that to what we're talking about. What would be a minimal viable solution that you get out there so you get feedback whether it's actually viable or relevant, as opposed to going deep in your head, being so invested in what you're saying that you can't hear anyone else. And so I think there's a lot to be learned from that. What would be a minimal, and what I heard Jeff saying is, what is a minimal viable solution that we could go out there with and see if it gives us progress, and then we'll reevaluate. That I don't know if any of that's accurate, but let's put something out there and see if anyone salutes it, if it helps. If it doesn't, let's reevaluate it. Because the problem is people become too invested in something. It's like building a product that nobody wants. You have all this inventory, and then you have to hard sell it down people's throats because nobody wants it. That's what I heard him saying is, can you come up with a solution that we can try? Let's just try it out and see where it goes. And is any of that accurate?
That's actually close enough. I mean, I'm here to listen. I'm in listening mode for 21 minutes. 'Cause apparently, all of my intelligence and faculties have failed me today. And I'm hearing shit. I was thinking about going to Del Taco for lunch. I don't think they have a CAT scan machine. I need to go somewhere where they have a CAT scan. I can see I must have a Robin's egg-sized tumor in my head because I am somehow mentally detached from what the fuck is going on here. I could have swore that.
The part of what I hear Jeff saying over that I fully support is we can't depend on anyone else in the black community to help us out. What are solutions we can do? What are actions that we can take? And then I think he does try to focus things, and then it gets agitated.
Right.
Antonio, and then Kev, and then Veronica.
When we understand redlining, we understand, or Jim Crow, we understand it as water fountains and black and white signs. But it was so much more. It was the destruction of black wealth. And so, like, the fundamental problem with your minimal solution model is that you don't start off with understanding what race is. And I think that if you don't understand what race is in the way that they continually have shut us down and continually try to shut us down, you don't answer the problem at all. So, like, I think that you have to do something that I did a few years ago, which is stop thinking you know a lot and start understanding you don't know much at all. And when I say that, you have to reevaluate race and wealth based on not just feelings and emotions. Like earlier, somebody said there was 27 million blacks in the country. There's 40 million. There's 14 million homes. Know where you live. Let me just finish. Know where you live. Know the data on where you live. And then once you know the data where you live, you'll start to really see how wealth as a construct really has laid out a very clear story of the haves and have-nots based on race. Now, the next step, I think, will be the biggest one, which is then you have to reevaluate yourself and understand how to make yourself happy in the middle of that.
But is it possible that nobody owns the truth? I mean, that there's a different interpretation. And so you're saying, no, my way is what you have to understand. And I think it's valid, and it's certainly going to be better than mine because you're much more informed and educated. But isn't it possible that someone else can look at a situation differently, and then you get into fights about whose understanding is better, and no action gets taken?
Hold on. Okay.
Kev, okay. Jeff.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the multifaceted question, there being a linear answer. So, say there's a windstorm, there's a hurricane outside, and you leave the window open. So, what would result from that hurricane is the wind is blowing in, it's blowing shit all over in the house. You got dirt and leaves and all over the place. You're cold, you're wet. All these different symptoms that are happening from this one thing of you leaving the window open. So what's the solution? Close the fucking window. So what's the solution in this? All these things are happening is because you don't know the game. You don't know the rules to the game of what you're in. So you're going to be stumbling around, bumping into walls like a pinball machine until you actually learn what's going on. How the elite are running this thing that they have you running around like a hamster in a wheel on. Once you do that, then you'll understand the steps to start taking. Now, there are many things, there are many ways that the game are played, but you need to learn the game.
Jeff Brown.
Kevin said exactly what was on my mind.
Okay.
Close the window, motherfuckers.
Every time we close the window, they rip the doors off.
Nah.
All right, we got Veronica Calloway there too. VC.
Yeah, I think we have to understand that the environment that we live in is one of true leverage. So to kind of to Kevin's point, like what he made earlier, there is so much available to us. There's so much information available to us. There's so much that we can learn in terms of the skill set. There's so much things that we can learn about financial literacy. Like Google is your friend, and then there's even deeper levels of it.
Girl.
And so at some point, you have to take responsibility personally for your financial condition so that you're in a position to interact.
Girl, I'm coming up there and give you a hug.
With your black colleagues. But you have to know something first. And it's knowable in 2017.
It's knowable.
Is.
It's knowable.
Bam.
I like
Drop the mic, girl.
I'm going to stop wasting.
Thank you.
It's knowable. Listen. So once you find out what to do, right? No, I get it. One thing black people are good at is doing shit individually.
Yes.
So yes, Veronica is correct. Jeff is correct. Antonio is correct about the information that he's presenting. So watch this. Once you know what to do, the next step is, how do you organize? How do you collaborate, cooperate, and form a group of people who are on the same page, who have this particular outlook?
Can I just add one thing? Because I just think when we talk about wealth consolidation and codification, I don't think we're really grasping. We don't know what to do. And what I'm saying, that there's a study I want everybody to go look up that came out earlier this year, the asset value of whiteness. It says attending college does not close the racial wealth gap. Raising children in a two-parent household does not close the racial wealth gap. Working full-time does not close the racial wealth gap. Spending less does not close the racial wealth gap.
Wait. And that's interesting that you bring this up. This is what is called the success sequence. Okay, I graduate high school. Okay, I go to college. Okay, I get a degree. Okay, I delay having children until well after 21. This is considered the success sequence. But when they match up white people and black people who have done the exact same success sequence, white people are still better off.
And what I'm telling you is, I one of my friends is the guy that did that study that you're talking about, and this study.
Right.
And what I'm saying to you is that much of the math that we're talking about is about 20 years dated.
Right.
And I'm telling you that right now, that's what wealth consolidation means at this level. It means you're going to have to reevaluate what you consider success and what you consider wealth, and not allow anybody to deter you from that, and start looking at things beyond a singular life. Who are you? That's, Yvette Carnell, Breaking Brown says, who are you? Who are your parents? Who are your grandparents? What did they leave you in wealth to be able to be substantially rooted in this new America today?
Right.
That's
But to come back to Jeff's point, what if the answer to that question is, my people are nobody?
It's gonna be.
What if the answer is, my people are nobody, and we're gonna become somebody in this generation moving forward? I think
yes.
Now the question becomes, how do we become somebody in this generation moving forward? Do you have an answer for that?
And my challenge to that would be, and I understand everybody's position, they're a little older than me in this room. I'm saying my challenge to you is that go learn about what's happening right now, because the environment is not a become somebody environment anymore. And you can disagree from a wealth standpoint.
So you're talking about the no more self-made millionaires.
Listen to this. When you say that the wealth goes from 64 families to 8,
right,
those people are eating dreams. That's what I call them, dream eaters. So what effectively happens is that wealth is snatched out of the middle class. See, what happens is a lot of people are raising their identity and their psyche off of old grandparents that were basically alive during the 50s when America was rising. America's not rising now. It's settling. Most of the new millionaires are in India and China. And I don't even know why we use that word so often.
Hold on, Kev. Hold on. Jeff, then Kev, then Veronica.
Okay. I have another direct question. Since apparently I have come here deficient of enough knowledge to have this conversation with you,
God.
I would like a list of books that I can read so that the next time we have this conversation, I can be at least on this particular subject close enough for us to have it on a plane that makes you feel as though you're talking to at least at this point a social equal. What are those books?
Capital in the 21st century.
Well, I was going to say Capital in the 21st century.
Okay, hold on. Who's that by?
It's by Thomas Piketty. It's 700 pages, and it's dense. But the next thing,
you know what? I've read books without pictures in them before.
cool. Yeah, this one got graphs.
No, I read that book is great. It was just Capital in 21st century.
But I would recommend research papers, not books.
Okay,
and some of those are
which would be
read the research paper. And actually, I'll email them to you as well. Professor Borjas from Harvard did a wonderful on immigration.
Could you spell his name?
Borjas. There's this study I just mentioned, which is the asset value of whiteness. There's one from my good friend Josh Hoxie and Chuck Collins, which shows it will take 228 years for a black family to reach the same level of wealth a white family has today. Not that it will even out in 228 years. These are key studies to understand your placement in this superstructure.
No, they want you to understand your placement. Look, man. Going back to the information.
Okay.
And what Zoe was talking about. The way you do that is, and what Veronica
he wasn't
was touching
finished
on
though,
as
but
well.
cool.
That's okay.
My bad, bro.
That's fine. Go right ahead.
Go ahead.
And what Veronica was touching on is individual responsibility of going out there and learning what's going on. So the thing is, though, right now the collective is what's the strongest thing. Corporations are nations right now. So
right.
You guys, and if you're going to learn the game, get about 4 or 5 of you together to come who don't know anything about corporations and learn it together. Get together once a week, twice a week, and sit down and learn everything you need to know about a corporation or a trust or a foundation. Learn that information together so that you're all on the same plane, and then you can start those vehicles to be able to move through society. That is how things are done today.
Right.
No matter whatever studies going on at the top of the level. These people are running in foundations, trust, and corporations, and that's what you need to. That's the game you need to understand. No matter whatever fucking else you learn about, if you don't know that, you ain't doing shit.
Right.
Period.
Right. Veronica.
Yeah. So I put my son could have gotten a full ride to any college he wanted to because of his education, right? But I instead put him in what I call Veronica's finishing school. And so Veronica's finishing school said, you're going to go build $200,000 worth of credit, so you have capital. There's a strategy for doing that. We're going to teach you internet marketing so that you can go out and print money at will from your computer because you're talented at it, right? And so then on the other side of a couple of years of that, then you've got a couple $100,000, $500,000, you can make some choices. You can make choices about property. And here's the thing about the internet is the internet, I can market to somebody in China. I can market to somebody in South Africa. We have to begin to look at what's around us and what's being built around us and what we can leverage and actually exploit it instead of being in a posture where we're always being exploited. We are not the owners. Jesus. We can decide to be owners.
Jesus.
Yes.
Okay, so look, I just got to jump right into it because we only have a few minutes remaining. My final thought. There's something, and I see what everybody is talking right now. Dreams versus a fantasy. A dream is a blueprint for getting something done. A dream is something that is in the spirit that can be pulled out. And there's a step by step. Most spiritualists will tell you what is in the dream is actually real. You can pull that shit out and execute a game plan to make that shit happen. A fantasy is a logical absurdity that ain't fucking real. That's some shit that hasn't been thought out. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you talk to a spiritualist, they'll tell you the dream world is the real world. You can pull some shit out of a dream. That's why these law of attraction motherfuckers will tell you, if you have a great idea, what are you supposed to do? Write that motherfucker down and bring it into this world. Michael Jackson, same thing. These records don't come from me. They come from God. So that's why I can't sleep. I got to get up and write it down and hum out the melody.
Before I lose it.
You understand? We got to learn the difference between a dream and a fantasy.
Right.
This is why a lot of our relationships don't work, because we fantasizing as opposed to dreaming some real shit into existence. This goes back to the motherfucking Three Little Pigs and why I know it so well.
Fantasy, illusory perception.
Fantasy, illusory perception. Fear, anxiety. Fear, false evidence of things appearing real. Anxiety is false fear. It's not a real fear. Now, let's go back to my analogy of the Three Little Pigs. The first house, straw. The second house, sticks. The third house, bricks. Now, if you look at the quality of the material in terms of quality of thought, most motherfuckers who are fantasizing, the thought process is the quality of straw. That's why the shit gets blown down. And then you try to upgrade it to sticks, the shit still get blown down. You got to have a solid thought process that comes from the spirit dream space, not the fantasy let me escape where I'm at space. That's, I don't know if niggas is listening. I don't know if niggas is hearing.
That's what, boy.
Do you understand? That's my Three Little Pigs analogy. We got to, and to speak to what Jeff said, we got to renounce what mama said was right in order to be free. A lot of our parents only taught us how to capitulate, only taught us how to conform, only taught us how to tuck our nuts and fucking get in line with the system that's in place. Listen, Jeff said you got to let go of some of the shit that you thought was the cornerstone or the hallmark for being successful. Sometimes you got to let that shit go. I'm going to say this, said it on the air or said it on Twitter. He was like, most motherfuckers value a tennis shoe collection over some seeds, over planting seeds, over agriculture, over going to school and getting a real education. Man, I done seen a white man tell a bunch of basketball recruits, this is not a 4-year plan. This is a 40-year plan. We're not trying to get you just so you can go to another form of entertainment called the NBA. We're trying to get you to set your family up for the next 40 years. There was a white man who told these recruits this. So here we are today. Brothers arguing, not wanting to really, you got your opinion, I got my opinion. The bottom line is we got to come together and collaborate. We might not always agree. We might not always see things eye to eye. But at the end of the day, we got to sit at the same table and be able to come up with a solution that will turn this thing around.
That's right.
But this motherfucker who is sitting right here, Antonio, is right in terms of this patriarchal oligarchy where motherfuckers are consolidating. Nigga, listen, they'd rather you have money than power. Do you understand that? They'd rather you get bread than have power. That's why certain motherfuckers can get a little piece of change, but they ain't giving up no power. And power comes from cooperation, consolidation. They consolidating, why ain't we? They getting together, why ain't we? Generational wealth is outpacing economies? Where your generational wealth? Where's your plan to even establish that?
I don't know.
Man, fuck all this arguing. At the end of the day, what are you doing to come together and cooperate? Man, I'm Zoe Williams, and that's my final thought. You better come together and stop bullshitting.
Stop it.
All we got is each other.
Get out there with
Shit.
people and learn shit.
Jeff Brown, I'd rather have you than my opinion. I'd rather have you on my team than my opinion. Kevin, I'd rather have you than my opinion.
I don't know about that.
That's the truth.
I don't know about that.
That's the motherfucking truth.
No, that I'll tell you off the air why I vehemently disagree.
Well, you just said it on the air.
No, you don't.
You just said you disagree.
But I can't tell you why on the air.
I'd rather have.
It's not y'all business why.
I'd I'd rather have Jeff Brown than my opinion, because I don't know all of this shit, and I don't profess to know all of this shit. I want to know some shit, but I know I can't know some shit talking over people. I know I can't know some shit being disrespectful. At the end of the day, man, we got to do better. Period.
Right.
Period. As a group.
That's right.
Or it's nothing.
Go out there and support Cop Stop Guardian.
Yeah,
if you want to help change, please go out there and do that. This is your chance to do that.
All right, listen. This is the ZoWhat Show. We got to go. We'll be back next week with another barn burner. This shit was fire. After 2 weeks, we came back with the heat. We'll be back, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We out. Deuces.
Peace.